How you diddling? I'm in a I'm in an interesting location today. Um, I've not come here specifically to work, but I'm actually at the Harrogate Flower Show. Beautiful part of North Yorkshire. If you're familiar with this part of the world, you know how gorgeous it is. Just as pretty as where we live, in my opinion, in East Yorkshire. I don't know if it's going to let me. You won't you won't get an idea of how nice it is. I'll try and get some other little clips, but I'm actually sat working in the car. Elaine and one of my older boys are going and enjoying. Got a look. The car park's that big on these grounds that they've got guys on like little golf carts, little golf buggies, sort of just scooting around and picking people up and then taking them to where the main part of the flower show is. It's a really nice. It's a really nice vibe about the place, actually, and the weather's absolutely beautiful today. And I've brought my camera and my laptop with me, and I was just digging into some copy of of one of our clients, and we've been looking after this particular person. Well, they're a couple, for a while now. And do you know what I really love about looking over copy for our clients is that, particularly when I'm looking over like testimonials that their clients have sent to them, and then they'll just have me like look at the copy, be like, what do you think? Can I tighten this up? Or if you've got some ideas, or give this a rewrite, and I'll do that, and I'll put my I'll put my writing hat on. And this particular one, the clients turned around and said a phrase that is almost identical to a part of my core beliefs and the things that I impart onto all the people that we look after. And if you've not heard me say this before, maybe this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, or you're sort of new into our world. The saying that I sort of live and die by is, how we do one thing is how we do everything. And there's this notion of, there's an inescapable truth that how we live in one part of our lives, if that, for example, is a struggle, or we have pain, or there's misalignment, then that is going to bleed out into other parts of our life as well. And the way to create elevation, and the way to create that alignment that we're looking for, is to look at where those leaks are, where those gaps are. So if you're showing up as a shit show, I say that quite a lot, in one part of your life, then do expect to have that bleed out into other compartments, departments of your life, however you want to see it. We like to think that we're very, with it, like these evolved beings, and we're able to compartmentalize and be this person to one subset of people and this type of person in another part of our lives. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen like that. In fact, the more people I meet and the more time I spend with humans, the more I realize how much pain that actually creates for people, and how much more misalignment there is with people that attempt to compartmentalize rather than looking at their life as a whole in a holistic way and creating combination between all of those places. Back to my point, looking over, he's called Shane. He won't mind me mentioning his name. He's a beautiful human being. And just looking over something that one of his clients shared with him through the work that he's been doing with, Shane and his wife, Carrie. Let me just find it, just so I don't butcher it. It says here, Stu said it best, and they've absolutely transformed this gentleman's life with the health, fitness, mindset, lifestyle work that they do. And Stu said it best: how I do anything is how I do everything. And I would be lying to you if I said there's not a little bit of that kind of like tickles my ego. It gets me a little bit excited. But I think for the right reasons. I think when you know you've got something special, and that putting just a little bit of that into other people's lives is going to make the difference and more, then you should be, I don't want to say ashamed. I don't know what the word is. Maybe it is a little bit of shame. You should be a little bit ashamed of yourself that you're not getting out of your own way and getting that special something, into other people's lives. And you should be damn proud of your experiences and your viewpoint of the world, because I think one of the big downsides, or one of the tragedies, dare I say, when I look around at the majority, of coaches from all different parts of the coaching industry, whether it's business, whether it's health and fitness, whether it's mindset, whether it's, spiritual coaching, is everyone is looking in at what everyone else is doing. And then there's just this big, weird copycat game of where nobody actually has a unique voice. Nobody has their own opinions. And then there's that golf cart again. Don't know if I can get a little snippet actually. It's quite cute. Can I spin this around? Don't know if you'll see it now. There goes the golf cart. There's some nice people walking past. Anyway, let's see if I can set you up back in the same place. Track my face. Do a good job. AI, again, people are becoming less and less and less powerful in their own thoughts and in being in creative mode and coming up with their own names, for things and how things work, and conceptualizing, what they actually do in terms of transforming people's lives. I love listening to Yorkshire people's voices. I feel very at home in Yorkshire. That creativeness is really important. Really important. And I think I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I promise I will come back to point, as I always do. But that creativeness is what makes you unique, is what makes you special, is what has... You will often say to me, and I'm speaking directly to you right now, I want to be able to attract these great people that I love working with, and that are more than happy to pay the prices that I want to charge for my unique perspectives and the solutions that I've put together. That's such a high ask if in actuality you are not personally living in alignment. The holistic approach that you have to your own life isn't pulled in from all angles. And then, you're looking in at, on other people's ways of doing things. They're also not being creative. So there's just this perpetual shit machine. This is a sausage factory, but cheap sausages, not even like handcrafted, good quality meat sausages. I'm talking about some heinous factory that is just pushing out the worst slurry made, horrible skin sausages you can imagine. That's what a lot of coaches look like out in the industry, because they all look, sound, smell and taste exactly the same. And maybe it's through fear, maybe it's through, lack of knowledge acquired up to that point. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but please flex on the thing that you are great at, because it then bleeds out into other people's lives. And so for me, just looking back, I've got my laptop here in front of me. It's getting a bit warm in the sun, actually. I will save you from the sun in just a moment, I promise. Looking back and seeing that Shane and Kerry's wonderful client is also now starting to realise, hey, I would do anything is just how I'm going to do everything else that I come into contact with. If I sort one part of my life out, then everything else is going to rise and get better and elevate and feel better, and there's going to be just a better vibrational presence, with who I am. And that's going to impact my kids, which he goes on to talk about, his relationship, and then other people in his community that he comes into contact with. It then becomes an epicenter of encouragement, passion, love, and growth for others, which sounds a bit wishy-washy, but all that means is, in real language, if that's what you're looking for, is that you're moving through your day with less judgment about yourself, so you don't give that to others. You're able to communicate and connect in such a way with yourself that anyone that spends time with you or in your vicinity absorbs that, just because of your calm, centered presence. And then if you've got children, you're not short with them. You're actually listening for a change to what they're saying, rather than just pacifying them, with iPads or words or actions that just don't marry up to them being the people that you want them to be in the long term. And then if we root this back to your coaching business and the money that you want to make, that's all the same. So my point is, don't be afraid, to show who you really are and what you're great at, because you are. Maybe you're on the cusp of that. Maybe you're not quite pinned down what that special thing is right now. That's okay. Maybe you've got a feeling of what it is, but you're not able to label it or attach words to it. That's fine. Give it a moment. Took me years to figure out what my thing was. I was doing it everywhere I went, and I just constantly asked people for feedback. Hey, that thing that you said that I helped you with, and the way that you narrated that, help me understand it a bit deeper. Describe your experience of me when we're together. Yeah, that's really fucking interesting. Yeah, you can use AI and a little bit of stuff for that feedback, but being with humans is gonna give you that. And these words here that Shane and Kerry's client have shared with them, that's the juice. That's the fucking stuff. So don't be a little regurgitated factory made sausage. Be your own little sausage. Have a great weekend.